Alright guys, back here with another video, and this time we have a deck profile that's more of my style, more of what I like to play, and I just want to give you the updated version of what I play for Blue-Red Hirudegarn. And before that, because I know most people don't watch at the end, I'm going to do a stream soon for, like, maybe to help me gain a little fun since I lost my job recently, to make me where I can potentially go to Orlando and make more money. Orlando is next weekend for ARG, and it's a 5K, and I'm plan to do very well at it, which would help me cover my costs and hopefully pay for some bills as well. But if you guys want to help me with that, please tune in the stream. We're gonna do a raffle on things, and I'm gonna post a bunch of stuff I got from Nationals, and I've accumulated a lot of stuff from this game, and I'll do a big raffle very soon. Just stay tuned and hit the notification button and be ready for that. But other than that, Hirudegarn, your leader again. Same as always. Attack, discard a battle card, draw 2 cards. If you're attack a leader, and then awaken, untap 2 energy, become the behemoth that is Hirudegarn, the demon, the Fan demon to be exact. When you're 4 or more energy, he attacks, and your opponent loses a card, puts on top of their deck, and then you draw a card. And yeah, he's really strong. He's one of the best blue leaders in the game, if you haven't seen the Storm versions, but this is way different. First combo piece, Intensifying Power Trunks. This is one of your cards that helps you play Chain Attack Trunks for 2 less energy. Oh, sorry, well, 1 less energy, sorry, because you have to evolve for... So it makes him cheap. You evolve on top of him for 2 energy for Chain Attack Trunks. And he has critical whenever he takes a life when he attacks. Gains 10,000 as well. Chain Attack Trunks, your main targets are... They put a 15k battle card from your hand into play is Zeno. This is your main concept of the deck. You want to do this probably around turn 4 and when you're awakened. And attack and make your opponent lose another card. And hopefully they're at low life when you do this. This is when you really want to do it. When you're at lower life. That's why you have to be a little aggressive early game. And you can use the cards you have in your hand and then play Zeno. But there's other ways to play the deck. It's not just mainly... Because if you don't draw this card, you can still win. But, yeah. Your main target's Zeno. Other targets, Burst Attack. This card's amazing. I love it so much. When you attack and you have 4 less cards in your hand, which you will if you have your Zeno, you'll go from 5 to 4 cards, draw 2 cards, awaken. When your leader's awakened, draw another card, go to 7, and they lose 1. So their hand gets really small, and he's critical. Amazing card. 3, Digging Deep. So one way this deck struggled after the new cards, Crisis Crusher makes it where you can't awaken at self-will with Intensifying Power Trunks because you can't attack with him. But this guy right here, he'll help you draw 2 from your life, gain 5,000 power, and restand. So he attacks twice, and he's very powerful. So you want to make sure you see this card and helps you awaken. We had to remove Saiyan Combo from the main deck because of Crisis Crusher. And yeah, that's one of the cards that helps you keep in the game. And after you objection on turn 2, you play this on turn 4 to potentially awaken and draw your hand back up and awaken into your first ability for Hirudegarn, making them lose a card in their hand. And potentially going even farther and extend your plays with the awakening ability because you can tap 2 energy. And then you can unyielding and restand all your energy. But yeah, that's mainly the reason why you play this card, to awaken. And pressure. 4, first thing hit. I was playing 3 in my original build when I first started tweaking with the deck because I really didn't play this card too much. Like, he's not that important in this deck, to be honest. So if you don't want to put money towards this, you can not play it and then take out the objections, and then you don't have to worry playing this card. Because the only reason why I play this is because you want to have a good card late game to draw into after you chain attack. So you want to max out on the cards that are good to draw after you like for example, these cards are amazing to draw after your Zeno. You Zeno them, so because you take cards out of their hand or gain cards to your hand. So yeah, but this card also helps you stay alive, like against the Gogeta decks, because you'll take the Gogeta out of their hand, or you take the pieces out of their hand, which is even worse for them. But yeah, that's why he's there. He's actually completely useless against Storm. That's one reason why I say he's not that important. 3, Scientist Fu. Again, playing cards that are good after Zeno. Yes, this is an Overrealm card, and you are playing some cards with Sparking, so you have to pay attention to that. But remember that Sparking is not always live in this deck because of Scientist Fu, but your leader dumps cards to drop area, so this guy's live pretty quickly. And your super combo dumps as well. He draws you 2 cards at the burst attack, and that's like the best setup ever. But yeah, he's amazing. Still one of the best overall cards in the game. 4, Hoi. This is your super combo, and it's very unique in the sense that it discards any card and draws 2, so you have a dead objection in your hands or anything like that. An extra card you don't want to have in your hand at the moment, you draw 2. For your super combo, You do not want to play Sail in this deck, really, because it's not red, and you don't want to have like an overload of cards that don't really do anything for you, besides combo draw card, obviously. This is a good leader deck, but it's not that good of a leader deck, so it's better just to have the 4 instead of the 8 total super combos. You could play this build, this leader, so many ways, so you could include a build like where you only win with your leader, basically, and but that's up to you. You can try that. Alright, 4 Judge Foil Unyielding. So amazing to have these. This deck needs this kind of card because you don't want to be tapped out at all. And sometimes you can help it when you're trying to do big plays. And if you want to continue to put pressure on them. Shout out to Vince for hooking me up with these before I lost my job. But yeah, this card's amazing. And I also got 2 Judge Furtherings. These cards look amazing. If you haven't got a hold of these, please try to get a hold of these. Are awesome. But Further Destruction Champa. You could be the other one, East Kai, but yeah, it could be just either one. Or I might be said the wrong Kai. But the Kai does the same thing, but and you can actually play from your hand, but it doesn't really matter. You're never gonna do it. He's usually energy early on. You draw into one late game and just later kill him. But he's just there just in case. He's not that important, but he can help you. You have a lot of double strikers on Fu and foreseeing hit. 4 Dimension Magic. This negate made Hiru decks so much more powerful. The Sparking Effect's kind of cool, and it will come up, but it's not the most important part of this card. The most important card is it untaps an energy, so it will allow you to play a 10k from your hand by comboing, unlike Wizard's Coercion, and to have an energy open for another negate. So yeah, this card's really good though. 4 Senzu Bean. One of the best. This is the best card in the game. Staple blue card. Untapping energies is too good. And 3 Objection, as I spoke about earlier. You don't want 4. You do want to draw it in your opening hand, but you do not want to keep drawing in late game. So mulligan, a hard mulligan for this, and the rest of the cards usually fall into your hand. And make sure you be careful when you're charging in this deck, because if you do charge your battle cards and then you don't have anything to discard for your leader, it kind of like conflicts sometimes. So having too many extra cards is a struggle. So that's why when you go into siding, it sometimes helps in certain matchups. When you realize you really don't need these negates, or you really don't need foreseeing hit, your side helps you a lot. But I will go inside. For side, this is a generic, general good side. It depends on your locals. You can always change, or the event you're going to. But 2 planet M2, this is for Crisis Crusher and other good free blockers. And it's amazing to have this in the field after you chain Zeno, but in the main deck, it can get in your way against a lot of decks like Storms, and you want to make sure your matchup against Storm is not unwinnable. So less extra cards is better against 7 decks, but this guy is amazing against slower decks. Slower is in turn 5, turn 6 kills, but that you can chain Zeno and then you slow them down to where the game is really in your play field. 2 Kaba. This is obviously hand in hand with basically if you really want to be really aggressive against certain decks that you can't help but be aggressive against, like for example Universe 7 Frieza. You need these cards because they play 4 Crisis Crusher, and you play this, kill it, and then next turn go in with Kabas and so like that. So you want to take their life so they can't Victory Strike you as easily for a lot of power. Speaking of Victory Strike, this is another card for you. This deck does struggle against cards like that are decks that don't allow you to awaken. So you do need to make sure you have a barrier blocker against this kind of decks. Because if you can prevent them from killing this with a negate and then have this live for a Victory Strike, you'll be fine against it. Some decks the negate really sucks against, so you want to bring in Freehan. I probably would bump this with the 4 on the side maybe, but it's a lot of this is basically the 4 Freehan in Flute. But so these cards are really good against decks that you don't care about having negates in your hand. But basically androids, this will help against it. You put a battle on the card early on the field, and then you keep your life kind of high, and then make sure to where you're in the good position of killing their cards and pressuring their life, and then you chain it on them. That's basically how you want to play that deck. And this can also come in with Kaba, and anything like where you're trying to be an aggro. So these are just good cards. I have some other suggestions I will put at the end of the video as well. For example, let me just go down with the side first. But 2 Mafubas, this is also against Gogeta decks and other decks like at all costs Vegeta win cons. But the only issue with these cards is that they tap 2 energy against battering decks. So against battering, this card sucks. So you kind of don't want to put it in into those decks. So I play 3 Pilaf because it's a little better against them. Because if the first attack, if you're not 3 life, obviously you'll be fine. But you can Pilaf and obviously you're going to battering it, and then you have another energy. Hopefully you're smart enough to keep energy up against them. If you could, you can peel off them again. So it just really depends. These can all come in against those kind of decks with the Shinron and Wincon. But other cards you can put in this deck are Adolcus Vegeta and Mass Saiyan in the side deck. Those, the Black Mass Saiyan, for example, and Pan. There's a lot of good cards you can put inside of Hirudegarn. For example, obviously the Pseudo Super Combos. It just depends on where you want to go with the deck. And Xeno Button is also an option, and the Phantom Flame Cannon. So you have to really to build based off what you're really trying to do with the deck. So take that into consideration when you're building these kind of decks, especially Hirudegarn, which is very versatile. But thanks you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the giveaway. I mean, well, the giveaways and the raffles and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys can help me get to Orlando. And thank you guys for watching again.